What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman One here, and today we're going to be doing the first part of our Blasphemous 100% completion guide. So this is going to be a walkthrough on how to obtain every single item and complete 100% of the items and map in the game. This is going to be the base game, and then we'll eventually move on to the DLC in preparation for the new content coming out December. So I wanted to kind of kick off a few things before we jump in the guide, though. This is going to be a live streamed guide. I'm not going to do it and then edit it post. So what I want to do is do everything we can to complete the game 100% and not take 83 hours like I did in my casual run. But as you can see, we have completed 100%. That is something we've done before. And of course, once we include the DLC, we'll actually go beyond 100%. And then in preparation for the DLC that's to come in December, we'll go over that when it comes out. So for the next few days, be prepared to see some content on Blasphemous. We're going to be playing and streaming the 100% guide. And then along the way, I'll do some edited guides along the way that show you glitches and just secrets, tips, and tricks and all of that. Maybe compilations as well. So without further ado, let's get started. And yes, we will be seeing things such as the cutscenes and all of that. So feel free to join in and we can chat and all that. But every time I pick up an item, I will be showing you the item location on the map, and we'll kind of just continue making our way through that as we can. So let's go ahead and get started.
Because it is my guilt, I claim you, grievous miracle. Make my chest hurt with regret. Forge your punishment and nail it deep. Shake my guilt once again.
And thus, guilt, repentance, mourning, and every pain of the soul of all kind were visibly and tangibly manifested everywhere and in all of us. Sometimes in the form of blessing and grace, sometime in the form of punishment and corruption. That divine will, equally pious and cruel, which we could not and will never be able to unravel, was called the miracle.
And so we have arrived at the Brotherhood of Silent Sorrow. Of course, that's going to show us how to use our flasks, which we know quite well. Here up top, we're going to see that there's a secret we'll have to get and come back at a later time. So let's go ahead and move forward right now. There will be plenty of opportunities for us to come back once we have the correct movement abilities and relics that allow us proper movement. So don't get caught up if there's an item that we cannot obtain. We will obtain it at a later time, and we will surely receive the 100% completion before long. go ahead and activate this preview. This is pretty much a bonfire. It's a save point for us, and we're going to be activating all of them because in the end what's going to happen is we're going to be able to warp between them. There will be some items that we can obtain that are actually beyond 100% that we will not be obtaining. We're going to do everything at the base level needed to obtain the 100%, so keep that in mind. Because some additional content has been released, there is some lapse, but I'm going to make sure that I show you the purest way to get 100% without having to do too much extra work. So let's go ahead and defeat the first boss, the obligatory death. Oh gosh. Pretty easy. All we got to do is just make sure we dash beyond that attack. If he stomps, we just dash to just reposition ourselves. Again, just trying to time our dashes. Unfortunately, my distancing is trash, so I'm not properly judging my time, so I'm running right into his foot. But fortunately, he doesn't deal a lot of damage. Could easily just go like that. Avoid the shockwave. So he's dead. Long path ahead. This is an interesting little cutscene here. Requiem Eternum, eternal rest for the first boss. Every time we defeat a boss, you'll see that screen. Much better. Alright, so now we're going to make our way out of the Silent Brotherhood. And these little switches we can activate. This door we can open at a later time, but we do need a key, which we'll get from a vendor later in the game. So this is one of those opportunities or instances where we're going to have to move forward before we can circle back.
Regretful be the heart, penitent one. The anguish of the eldest brother has now come to an end. I am Deo Gracias, witness to and narrator of the acts of the grievous miracle. Such is my penance, as yours is silence. Cradle of Affliction is what you seek. This can be found in the Mother of Mothers of the Churches. It is a remote place separated from the rest of these lands by a great sacred and forbidden door. Even a wise penitent like me knows nothing of what lies beyond those high walls. However, what I do know is that, according to the rule, one must carry out the 3 humiliations to gain access to what they guard. One of them must be performed in the high mountains, covered in thick blankets of snow and ice. Another in the depths of a dark, entombed church where the sleeper lies. Last one, at the end of the trail, carved by moans that claw their way out of an iron spiral, in the bowels of the bell named Honda that grows into the earth. Take this thorn and place it on the handle of your sword. If, when the time comes, as you grip your weapon firmly, you notice that it wounds you and makes you bleed, having grown, with more thorns sprouting from it, writhing over the figure of the Father carved into the knob, that will mean that you are at the mercy of the grievous miracle, whether for its punishment or its forgiveness.
So the thorn's going to be actually incredibly important and pivotal for us to get the correct ending. So we're going to get ending A. So as we obtain the Thorn, there's a way to actually increase or enhance it and upgrade it. And we'll do that near the end of the game so that we can easily obtain the last ending. So without further ado, let's actually get started with this thing. Let us do this. I don't think I can slam down here just yet, but there's a secret below us there. I don't quite have the techniques I need. That's showing us how to parry, which I'll show you guys. Super easy. It helps you do a ton of damage, which is great. So this is the very first item we're going to be getting, and it is right here in the highlighted section of the map. That's how you obtain the Verdiales of the Forsaken Hamlet, which is a prayer. Got that Joy-Con drift. So you can equip it, and it's not bad. It's definitely one that we'll be using, at least for the first few matches where it's relevant. That's an item we'll have to come back and obtain at a later time. We got bonked right in the head. That's great. And all we're doing is just making our way. This is yet another secret area right below us. Go ahead and get the parry. Oh man, I tried to do the execution, but I failed. This is, well, air impulse. Very nice. Huh. I've always done down in R, not ZR. That's great. If there's a simpler way to do it, I love it. We got the first child of Moonlight. Let's go ahead and kill these guys real quick. That way I can show you where it is on the map. Of course, it's the very first area. You can't miss it. You can't miss it at all. There you go. So it's going to be right here. This is where we obtain the very first child of Moonlight. There are 38 in total, okay? So this is where you obtain the first one. Very difficult to miss. Almost required for you to get across. That is the Holiness Escobar, who is actually a very bad character. He is essentially the last boss in the game, and he is the reason why the throne has become the Cradle of Affliction and now a Mountain of Ash. So we're now in Albero. This little area here is going to be important for us later. We're going to be coming here several times to upgrade a number of very special items that can allow us and grant us different abilities. Now, I want to explain this before we move forward, but this is going to be a character that we can communicate with, so let's go ahead and hear him out.
Welcome to Albero, sanctuary to this humble brotherhood of the Kissers of Wounds. Few remain here who can still employ it. But Tirso is my name. There are few of us who still care for the sick and ailing. With devout kisses, we bless the wounds of those who seek our protection. Thus both we and they remain at the mercy of the miracle. Time outside these walls passes by strangely. In sundowns we need not contemplate, but if your penance happens to carry you under set skies, be so kind as to bring us some ingredients for our ointments. The will in the miracle shall show you which ones they are.
And it really doesn't. So so he's Tirso, he's part of the Kissers of Wounds, and what they do is essentially they will allow, well, let me just go back down here before I get side distracted. They will essentially accept multiple gifts. Before several of the latest patches, if you didn't provide them the ingredients necessary and these individuals that were afflicted died, you wouldn't get the Rosary knot that you will eventually obtain after completing his side quest. However, in this run, because they are so sensitive, we're going to do what we can and come back and return to him to return the ingredients if possible and as needed. But in the end, it's okay if we are left over with some additional ingredients, because those only provide you additional tiers of atonement, which is the currency in this game. It's not actually going to give us any item that's going to work towards our 100% completion, aside from the Rosary knot, which we can obtain even if every single one of the characters dies. So, let's move on, now that we've kind of clarified that. Now we're in Albero, and this little cell right here, we can obtain this item, which is the Dove Skull. This is one of the bone fragments. There are a number, actually, I'm sorry, this is a Rosary bead, my mistake, I used the wrong word. And these are actually used to help enhance abilities. So if you look at your Rosary beads and you equip them, right now we only have 2 slots out of about 8. This one helps us increase our defenses. And there's some that give you increased mobility, agility, defenses, offensive strength as well, even affecting your fervor, which is like your magic bar, and your health bar. So a number of Rosary beads we can collect, and it's pretty cool. This should be, if I recall correctly, just leading us to an elevator that we can't, that we shouldn't really use just yet. Actually, I don't think we can. Excellent. Even better. And we can't reach that either, so we're going to come back in here, circle back around, and now we should be below where we just jumped off of. These are some more of these sick individuals. There are illusory walls in this game, and we're going to be going over that here shortly as well. If you notice, of course, my starting skin is actually different than what you would see if you began the game normally. But here's a little cutscene. I have, since I beat the game, I can select the skin, and I love black and red. Those are my favorite colors, so that's the one I'm using. This is a Mea Culpa shrine that increases the power of our sword.
Penitent one, you who carry the painful guilt in your cracked hands, lend it to us and alleviate our burden. Lend it to us and wipe away our tears, because it is an act of penitence.
So essentially the strength of our weapon has increased, and you can go to these shrines. There's a number of shrines. I want to say there's about 7, because there's 7 levels of the Mea Culpa upgrade, so the sword can be upgraded up to 7 times. However, there is a glitch that I will be showing you in later videos that's going to show you how to infinitely increase the strength of Mea Culpa by manipulating a glitch using this cutscene. So you can upgrade your sword a number of times. I think the maximum is either 17 or 19, and that will be the maximum damage you can possibly do with the sword in the game. So it is insane, and a very easy to do glitch if you pull it off correctly. So yeah, can't wait to show you guys. That's gonna be great. But anyways, so let's move on and let's go ahead and continue exploring. So if you go to the shrine again after you first activated it, you can see that now we're at level 1. You actually start at level 0, and so now we have these different abilities. I am going to go ahead and equip the Weight of Sin, which is a very important ability. Reason being, it's going to help us unlock some illusory walls, or I'd say illusory floors below us. So now we can do this. So we'll at some point be able to go back, traverse through those other areas, and we'll be able to, of course, continue upgrading our sword, because that is part of the 100% completion as well. So God, that Joy-Con drift is insane. But in Albero, right beyond the save point, if you just go down and go to the left, this is where you find the very first shrine. They're always going to be indicated or marked on the map by this little sword icon here, so you know that's a Mea Culpa shrine. Now this is our first illusory wall. There's going to be plenty of these. If we look right here on the map, after breaking the illusory wall in Albero, we can obtain this item here, which is the Calcaneum of Persian, Now these are bone fragments, so if you actually go to the correct start screen, these little collectibles here, they're called these little collectibles are bones, right? And every single one of them is going to be a type of bone fragment. There are a ton that we're going to obtain, and we're going to go into the actual chamber that shows you how to how to keep track of the ones you have. So if we walk in here, this little ossuary right here, this is going to indicate, hey, you got 1 out of 1 trillion. So now that Calcaneum is right there. If you obtain all of them, you actually obtain a new skin. You'll be awarded a skin. It's called the Warden of the Ossuary, which is a bit underwhelming, but it does have like bone type colors, which is kind of neat. Now, I typically mark that place on the map, but there's really no need to. Again, you can always mark it like with a skeleton or something like that to show that that is a place you can always come back to. But Albero is just a great area that's going to have a ton of different options for us in terms of upgrades, constantly obtaining our guilt fragments and things like that. So let's go up here first, and we're going to head all the way to the right. We're going to go as a straight path here. I'm going to try and keep it simple. So again, this is where another person that can give a side quest is.
In this place, we gather the remains of those who were separated and forgotten, so we can grant them holy burial as our charitable rule prescribeth. Help us, these poor souls, O penitent monk in silence. The Order blesses you.
So pretty much what this guy's doing is he's talking about his order, or what his mission is to provide people proper burial. So there are certain individuals that were considered blasphemous or heretics because their miracle or their their blessing or curse was not understood well, and so they were either killed or condemned a certain way, and this individual focuses on trying to heal those people. You'll see dead corpses along the way too. You can actually communicate with these once you get a special item. That is not needed for the 100% completion, but I will do it in several occasions so that you can witness how to obtain certain hints for special items you get along the way. So here on the map, we're still in the suburbs of Albero. We're going to obtain this item here. This is the Phalanx of Brannon, another one of the collectibles. The collectibles, oddly and interestingly enough, are actually parts of the founders that helped support the game upon whenever it was in Kickstarter mode. So pretty cool. Okay, you're dead. There's gonna be a handful of things that we're gonna come across. Of course, the illusory walls I'm gonna forget all about, but we will obtain everything. Little Doug trio in human form. Ow, they knocked the hell out of me there. Alrighty. So I can't slide down just yet, but once I come around, I'll be able to break through and obtain that item. So as you saw, there's going to be instances where you're going to move past where you want to just so you can get an item from earlier. So it is a bit annoying, but it's just part of the process, part of the Metroidvania process, really. Wow, my timing is trash today. There you go. Let's go ahead and heal because we're getting destroyed over here. There you go, much better. I enjoyed that thoroughly, actually. I need to time my dashes much better because I keep sliding into the enemy. And 2, perfect. So we're gonna jump down here, make it nice and easy. There is an illusory wall that you can slide through, and this is, of course, in this cell here in the wasteland of the buried churches. And this is yet the Phalanx of Arthur, yet another collectible, one of many that we'll be getting. Gosh, my controller's tripping. It is in bad shape right now. Let's actually continue on in this area. I don't want to leave it just yet. Ouch. There you go. 2 strikes and they're done. We'll come back around for that. I'm going to go ahead and heal. I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm used to being at 100%. You know, I was running around getting all the collectibles, and I was so powerful. I could pretty much destroy anybody with just about a single hit. So I'm like, whoa, I got to get used to not being OP. I am no longer OP. Those guys would die in, oh gosh, in one combo. I did not mean to do that. But we are now underneath the area we were just at, and the wasteland of the buried churches. This is actually the outside area, and this is where you can obtain the Uvula of Proclamation. This is another Rosary bead, and you can get Tears of Atonement by destroying objects if you have it. So there you go. Now we have an open path. Gonna have to be careful because if you die, it is quite punishing. You know, we'll be sent back to the last save point. So let's tread softly. We are gonna have to head back up. This door is locked to the right, and we're gonna need to make our way outside. Go ahead and get our parries going. You can't parry these guys, but you can. Ouch. You can block. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm dead. No, I'm not. Whew. Okay, that was scary. Now we're at this cell in the wasteland of the buried churches, and we're going to obtain this item here. The Capitate of Barock. Let's see. How much more death must we suffer? I don't want to die. But I feel like we're going to reach a save point at some point. Nope, I'm dead. Or we're going to get hit like Forrest Gump. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. That's fine. We'll have full heals and full health. Oops, I didn't even read that. But pretty much just saying if you die, you're going to return to the last save point. So we're going to keep moving on this way. Pass through this area that we just, where we talked to our little friend who just wants to bury people. He wants to bury people, right? But what about the guy right outside his door? I guess he forgot about him. But along the way, yeah, we will be dying because I'm doing this live. So naturally, we're going to be experiencing some death. And if I die, I'll be sure to get back to where I need to go to continue the guide without defeating everybody again. I don't want to waste anybody's time. Perfect. Alright, excellent. So we got that. We'll jump across this one as well. Slide past Homegirl. Okay. Or not. We're going to have to fight this one. She is right in the path of my my ability to jump down here. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now we're right where we died at. We had already obtained that last collectible. I can't obtain this little Child of Moonlight just yet, but it's going to be okay. We recovered our guilt fragment. And now, whoa, if we can wait for it to come this way. We've got the second of 38 Children of Moonlight, which is right here. That Joy-Con drift is sick. Oh god, it makes me nauseous just thinking about it. Wasteland of the Suburbs, and this cell right here. That's ridiculous. I can't believe how bad that is. But anyways, we'll continue into this little church area here. And we'll see what's up above. See if we can get the double hit. Nope, she blocked. That's okay. We got the 2 hits there, which is fantabulous. We're going to go up this way. And you can go around here, so let's go ahead and do that. Got to be very careful. My controller is ugh, not feeling too good. That left stick is really loose. That's what happens when you play Super Smash Brothers too much. Alright, so if you look here, the Wasteland of the Buried Churches, we are in this cell, and we're going to obtain the Heart of the Virtuous Pain. There is a Child of Moonlight here, so what we're going to do is on our map, we're going to go ahead and mark one. So now we know there's a Child of Moonlight there, so if we have to come back, we know exactly where to go. I am going to also equip the Mea Culpa Heart once we get to the shrine again. You can only equip these on shrines, but what it does is it helps boost your blocking stance, so it gives you a longer stance with that blocking animation. So it's definitely not the best at all, but it is something that can come in handy in the beginning, and it's better than nothing. I can't believe how loose that left stick is. That is terrible. So let's come up and around real quick, and then of course we will go back. There are several areas, and this right here where olive trees wither, I'm going to explain the major area, the problem with this area. This just is a brief tutorial on how to wall climb. We'll go ahead and save here. Because we've entered this area, we have essentially started a timer. A timer that's going to impact the life of one of these characters. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the way to not really worry about it so much. But we're where olive trees wither in the enclosed convent. And in this area, you can find this item here, which is the Radius of Helzer, another collectible. There will, of course, be a handful of other secrets we'll obtain at later times, but this here is incredibly tricky at first. Before the patches, when you spoke with this individual, he was someone that was tormented and put in a kind of a metal statue, and he's pretty much been stuffed in there. Over time, he will actually pass away, and you have something of a time limit. I don't know personally if it's actually a true time limit. I do believe it's actually based off of your progression and which bosses you defeat. So I don't believe it's anything to do with an actual live time or a timer. But in essence, when you walk into this area, you have started the quote-unquote clock. So if you go and defeat too many bosses without returning and healing him or saving him, in the past he would die, and you would be unable to obtain his gift or his portion of the items. So you couldn't complete the map 100%, and you also couldn't obtain the item. That has since changed, so even if he dies, it's okay, but this is something to remember.
And humiliated be the heart, penitent one in silence, you stand before what remains of Gemino. Oh, do not fret for me, the cold is merciful, for it relieves our pain and numbs us before it leads us to our deaths. Perhaps the miracle the others spoke of has come to me, here in this iron tomb, lengthening distress more and more. To a promised land you direct your march, to the place where the frozen and the burning embrace in communion. Let me ask of you the favor of bringing me a few drops of the oils that once came out of these icy olive trees, the ones that ended up scorching the faces of every pious person who ever reached the summit. As my last wish, before it is too late for me, let me feel that pain. Take this.
So he's going to give us the empty golden thimble, which we'll need to fill.
My numbed arm become another branch of this withered olive tree. Hurry up, I can still hear the call.
So what we're going to do is we're going to mark this on the map. We're going to say this is our little dude right here. NPC. That'll be our NPC marker, okay? And in the event there's anything like a treasure or anything like that, we'll mark those as well. So we're going to use our markers for sure. So anyways, at this point, we'd want to continue progressing. And once you defeat the first boss. Typically that's the Lady of the Charred Visage. You should be set, and we can then obtain the oil he's referring to so we can save him. Once we obtain another item, it'll be an item that allows us to traverse these cloudy areas here. The fog the fog actually indicates areas that you can fall down. They are referred to as endless abysses, but they're really not. If you don't have the item equipped and you fall, you will die. But if you save enough Children of the Moonlight, you can obtain an item that will allow you to jump down without any harm at all. So it's really cool. So let's see what's in this cave here. Do some exploring. So here we're in the enclosed convent where olive trees wither, on this cell here that's lit up on screen. And we're going to obtain the incense garlic, which is one of the first items you can use to take back to Tirso. This is also a secret that we will obtain once we help other NPCs out as well. I don't recall if that's the one for Gemino or not, but that is actually something we can interact with at a later time. So that's good to know. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's mark that on the good old map so we don't forget. What I'm gonna put on the map is gonna be, let's see, we'll call it a treasure. There you go. Because it will give us an item, and this will work towards our 100% completion as well. So, oh gosh, don't you dare! Don't you dare! These guys are funny because they kind of whip themselves. Oh, that was a bad idea. Now I don't really know where I'm at. Let me see. Now, yeah, I don't think I have the ability to get over here yet. There are going to be some additional items. This is another Child of Moonlight, so we're going to mark it. Going to mark it as such because there is one here. We'll have to come back for him a little bit later. But let's continue up these icy peaks. This area is going to lead us to one of the first bosses. And these guys are terrible. I would like to kill them if we can. Okay, 4 hits. That's not terrible. They deal so much damage this early on. Oh gosh. But if you just bait them like this, you're usually fine. Until, of course, they come at you 2 at a time. Yeah, those are terrible. And they're not only in the icy areas, but they're in the and sandy areas, or they're just everywhere. Typically, she poisons herself, but I guess not. Not this time, huh? There you go. I don't think this is an area, but just checking. And these are enemies that are typically really easy, but sometimes they get in these little patterns like this that makes it really difficult. Because they can jump on you and harm you, or they can throw those pots at you and harm you, so they just have a bunch of different weapons. I think that's just a trap, but it's fine. Always best to check it out, confirm for ourselves, so no worries, we'll come back around. The funny thing is the first half of this game is a little bit fuzzy for me. Most of my memory has to is from the latter half. Alright, so let's go in here and hopefully not die. These guys are real fun. Absolute charmers, these ones. I think it's 5 hits for them. About 4 hits for those divers here. Uh-oh. There you go. No! They're getting some strange angles, unfortunately. And that's what makes them hard to hit early on, but... Very good. Of course, we have this one just waiting for us. Alright, so we are in this portion of the map right here, this blue cell where olive trees wither, and this is where you obtain the remains of Tentudia's hair. Tentudia, her hair anyways, is part of the a handful of items you have to get. I believe it's her hair, her skeletons, and I believe her blood or meat, and you take it back to Lucidio, who is at Albero, and once you speak with him, he will be able to give her a proper burial, and you get a really, really good prayer out of it. So that is exciting. I like that one. Alright, so I need a save point. There should be one here, if I recall correctly. So we're going to safely traverse this area and not get attacked by those worm fellows. So now that we've saved, we'll go ahead and explore the rest of this area here. This is kind of a closed off area. You can continue upwards, which we will. But let me just show you really quickly. We're going to have another Child of Moonlight as well. But you can actually climb up here, and we will be doing that here shortly. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. But this is a Child of Moonlight that we're going to have to obtain at a later point, whenever we have the ability to fall through abysses. This is going to be a merchant. So we're going to mark the merchant on the map as well. A merchant we can mark with a green emerald. Kind of like, hey, that's a coin, you know, green for money. So we have a little bit. I mean, we have 2,000. I think it might be best for us to save up, but we're going to have these items here that we can actually purchase, and they will be needed for side quests as well.
Of the miracle, penitent one.
Sure.
Do not be surprised to find this merchant here. This ancient occupation requires me to be wherever I can obtain rewarding benefits. Call me Candelaria, for what I sell would make your eyes light up like the high bonfires. I will not ask you for any money whatsoever. Those forbidden tears you shed would be more than enough for me. Go ahead, cast your darkened eyes over these valuable treasures.
So let's see.
And may I don mourning black if I'm trying to deceive you?
Ember of Holy Cremation. Let's see. I don't have enough for it. But that seems to be a Rosary bead item.
You here is as lustrous as the first star of the night.
This is another.
May my eyes be blinded if I'm lying.
This is another item that we can use. It's another Rosary bead. And it reveals the vital essence of enemies. And this is going to be part of a side quest we're going to need. So if I can, I'm going to purchase this.
And may my eyes be blinded if I'm lying.
She said the same thing there, so that's fine. This is the Torn Bridal Ribbon. Now I'm going to read this. This is important. But it says, this soft white ribbon used during marriage ceremonies has been torn, thus destroying its delicate embroideries. One of the three remains of an unfinished ceremony. The wounds inflicted by a broken oath rarely ever find healing. So this item here is actually one of three pieces needed to complete a ceremony. And this ceremony is something that we're going to find later in the game. So we are going to buy the Torn Bridal Ribbon, and that will be a side quest item. So if you notice, we have a ton of different, I'd say, tabs here. We have our Rosary beads. We have the relics that I don't have any just yet, but they're amazing. We have quest items, which we have a handful. And then we have our Mea Culpa hearts, which increase our sword power, our prayers, which use fervor, and of course our Mea Culpa abilities. And then our collectibles, which we already have a handful. So that's kind of what you're looking at in terms of that you know, you're menuing. So let's see. We're in the Graveyard of the Peaks. Let's just see what's over here real quick before we head upwards. There is going to be, yeah, a good old Child of the Moonlight there, which is just cute. I don't know how many icons we're limited to, but in time we'll have to, we'll start cleaning them up anyways. This is another very important area, so we're looking on the map here. We're in the enclosed convent. We're in the Graveyard of the Peaks, and this is where we obtain the Immaculate Bead. The Immaculate Bead is incredibly important, and it is required for you to use this item in a very special way so that you can obtain the final ending, or I'd say the true ending, which is ending A. This is a statue that allows you to actually I'd say reclaim your guilt fragments in the event you can't physically go and obtain them. So these are marked on the map by themselves, actually by the miracle symbol, so it's fine. We won't need to use an icon for that, but that's perfect. I'm glad we found one of those. We need to know where all 6 or 7 of them are going to be. I believe there's 6 or 7. There could be 5, 6, or 7. Yeah, I forgot. But there's going to be a handful of them, no more than 7. And all of those that we find throughout the map are going to be incredibly important for us. And thankfully for us, they are marked for our convenience. This area is a nice little platforming area. Oh, I pressed Y to parry for some reason. That was not good. Turn around. Okay, perfect. They just get in the way more than anything. The wind, if you look at the snowflakes, it does indicate kind of where the wind is blowing, and it can help you jump further, or it can actually shorten the length of your jump, so you got to be very careful here. Uh-oh. Getting a little crazy. I like to clear them out because they can prove to be a real problem. So if you come through here, you can kind of circle back to the area that we were just in, and there's going to be a handful of items anyway, so. And 5, there you go. The wind is blowing against us. So let's wait. Okay, here you go. Now we have a wind in our favor. Had I fallen, I would have died because that would have entered the abyss. So this is where you obtain the empty bile vessel. Empty bile vessels are going to be how you replenish your health. Think of them as Estus flasks of your Dark Souls players. So we'll get another opportunity to heal. So that's where you obtain the empty bile flask. Again, we almost died there. We could have died there. We didn't, you know, we're fine, but we could have died there had we just had we not made that jump. So let's go ahead and clear this guy out. We'll bait him this way. He can change direction. It's really unfortunate because he's pretty good at doing it. But in the same area on the map where we found the bile, on the platform right above, you can obtain the Occipital of Tequila, the Metalsmith, which is another collectible. If you see very carefully on the screen, you're going to see these little reddish black sprites. And once you get a very special relic, you can actually jump on platforms that will be formed out of blood. And if you look even further to the right, you're going to see something that looks like a plant, maybe even roots. Well, if you have the correct relic equipped, that will actually grow towards you, and it'll actually allow you to either cling to a platform or stab a platform so you can ascend. So we'll return to this area a bit later. Matter of fact, I'm going to mark it with something on the map so I can remember to come back here. We'll do that because we're going to need our relics in order to be able to access these items. Oh my gosh, he hit so hard, I forgot about that. Yes, I am almost gonna die. No! Okay, so it takes about 6 hits for that guy. Love it. We don't have any bile flasks, or empty ones, so we gotta be very careful here. So on the enclosed convent, Graveyard of the Peaks, in this cell here, you can obtain this item, which is the Muted Bell. The Muted Bell is another Rosary bead, and it protects us from attacks of a magical nature, slightly. There's also a Child of the Moonlight here, so let's go ahead and finish this area up if we can. Four, and then our 5th hit should be right here. Excellent, so we connected. We're not going to be able to obtain this one until we have the platform, that blood platform that I was referring to. Or there's another technique we could use that we don't have yet either. Once we ascend Mea Culpa to level 2, we'll be fine. I died. That's unfortunate. That's okay though. We know exactly where we're at. We are in the peaks area. So we're going to make our way back up. We've accumulated some guilt, so we can find our guilt fragment if we're fortunate. I would like to go back to that area anyway, so we should be fine. There's another dead body there. Again, if we die, we're going to try and get through the areas as smoothly as possible so that we don't have to waste so much time. There it is. Now you see why I use the magic. It's so much faster to dispatch those wall statues with the magic than, of course, using physical strikes. Oh my gosh. Here we are accumulating more and more guilt. I got greedy and I went for a 2nd strike. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did there. So we've accumulated guilt. There's going to be 2 guilt fragments, which is going to further decrease our fervor bar. Fervor is the blue bar that allows us to use prayers. Think of it like a magic bar or like a mana bar. So not good to lose that, especially if you're kind of primarily dealing DPS based off your magic abilities. So got tagged anyways. Oh, I thought I was going to defeat him. That is okay. We got to heal, though. That's unfortunate. It took a lot of damage there. So we're going to pick up the guilt fragment that we lost. Okay, perfect. Had me nervous for a second. We still have our other guilt fragment, of course, that we're going to need to obtain. Alright. We can go directly to the left. And that's where our other guilt fragment's going to be hiding. Once we get a handful of different prayers, we can actually obtain that Child of Moonlight as well. So fortunately, we know there's one here too. That's great. We're going to just be marking this map up so we know exactly where all of these goodies are, and then collectibles. They're all going to work towards our 100% completion percentage. The wind's not working with us right now. Not liking that. Also, I want the this fellow to be facing the opposite direction. There you go. That's exactly what I wanted. So now we know exactly where we're at. Oh, my back. Alright, perfect. Whew. Well, that was fun. We've come full circle, though, so we know exactly where we're at, which is great. That is worth a lot. Let's see. How do we dispatch of our little friend here? Slowly, it seems. No! Balls. I mean, dang it. No! Okay, sorry. The wind is not working in my favor, but of course it is now. Alright, let's jump. And let's see. Okay, we're going to work our way up here. I want to see what's on this other side really quickly. Yeah, just another pathway we're going to end up exploring here before long. But unfortunately, we don't have the means to really traverse it very smoothly. So, if you see here, we can't make it all the way across. So let's see. What is this? We'll go ahead and wait for him to rear his ugly face. Oh my gosh, he almost got me. We'll just avoid that confrontation. How's that? Remember, we still have a handful of pathways that we need to search. We died. I got greedy trying to get that extra hit off. That's fine. We'll head back there and then do some more searching. And then we'll head back up the other path too, just to kind of complete that entire area. And one thing that I will do is, if you guys are watching along, you're like, oh man, I want to see what happens next. We'll get to those points. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make sure that I actually add chapters. So you guys can see exactly, you can skip ahead and you can get to the next item immediately. So you won't have to wait for, you know, me to get through it on a casual playthrough like I am now. You can actually see everything. You can skip ahead on the chapters. So that'll be something I'll do for you guys. So don't worry. If you're watching along, just, you know, enjoy the show. But I will have those notes for you if you're looking to do a very fast completion and truly use it as an informative guide. 5 hits. This one's deceptively strong. I don't like those statues at all. Alright, so we need to make our way back up. Oh, I didn't have the wind in my favor. Even no wind is better than a wind blowing against you, so. Oh gosh. And here I go. Please don't. Gosh, I'm getting destroyed over here. Absolutely destroyed. You're definitely going to want to skip ahead to where I get my guilt fragments, that's for sure. But no worries. We're still making progress nonetheless. We'll learn exactly where we need to go, and then I'll show you guys on screen. But yeah, this game is unforgiving. You can make just a handful of mistakes if you get greedy, and they will punish you for it. See if I can make it. Ugh, barely. And the amount of strikes or the damage you deal with your strikes, whether you're jumping or stationary, is also important because it's a different amount of damage each time. So got stuck on the wall there. That was weird. There you go. Alright, let's take care of this wall thing. The Moon Knight. That's what it looks like to me anyways. We're gonna go this way. Take out this creature here that I hate. It's more of a nuisance than anything. It's because it can go through walls. The wind's in our favor, so it's gonna blow us right over to this next pathway. Let's see, we have 2 guilt fragments we need to obtain. We got that one out of the way. Perfect. So we got our guilt fragment back at least. One of them. Let's go get the other, which is going to be up here. There you go. What a pain. All right. So let's carefully traverse this next area. Make that jump. Use our magic there. This is a much better start than last time, so that's good. Now here we will need the wind to help push us across, so let's wait for it. There you go, we got that extra boost. We're gonna have to wait for the wind again here. There's an illusory wall there, but let's go ahead and knock this person out. Okay, so the statue's dead. This over here is going to be an area that you can get increased fervor. So you anoint yourself with the oil of the pilgrims, and your maximum fervor increases. So this is the cell on the map where it's actually located, but if you go here, there's an illusory wall just right outside, and it's going to be on this location on the map. So that's a nice little secret. Now we can deal even more damage or do our prayers even more, so which is awesome. This is another area where we have to time our jumps carefully with the wind and the direction of the wind. There's going to be a point where we can't really traverse much further. Once the wind blows to the right, we'll have the oomph we need. Now we were above, and we got a piece of tombstone, right? So that is in this cell right here. Eliminates fall recovery time. So let's go ahead and wait for this crazy wind to blow in our favorite direction. There you go. And then when it blows over to the left, we'll jump over again. Slide over here and see what's popping. So here we have another area. We're on top of the mountain here. And we pretty much entered this area. What we're going to do is hopefully reach a save point, and if not, what we can do is we'll need to come back and search the rest of that area.
Sister of mine, as I foretold you, someone is heading towards the Forbidden Gate. Someone who seeks the purge and excommunication of all that is sacred and rests there. No, no, do not place your doubts on me. I am ready.
And he'll actually appear no matter which path you go, and he always tries to get you. I'm gonna use magic here, playing it really safe. Oddly, there wasn't a save point. I was gonna say there's got to be one. Yeah, okay, perfect. So now we can use this save point here, and we're gonna head right back out and descend the peaks. We're gonna fight the Lady of the Charred Visage because that's actually where we're at. But first, I want to complete the area that we just left. There you go. I got tagged pretty hard there. That's fine. We're gonna try and survive with just the single bile flask. I love that black and red. This combo looks great. Alright, here goes. That's alright. I'll take your little hits. And 5. Now we can head back up here and then of course to the left. Because there's a handful of areas we still need to explore. They have plenty of goodies for us to get. Like this one right here. I love it. Oh gosh. Perfect. So if you're in this cell here, top left of the Graveyard of the Peaks, you can obtain the Parietal Bone of Lasser, the Inquisitor, which is another collectible. And this is an area we can heal ourselves. So for 500 Tears of Atonement, we can replenish our biles and fill any bile flasks that we obtained along the way. So now you see we have 3 heals. So that's always good. And those are marked by red little rubies. So very nice. I'm glad we found that. That was incredibly useful. So now we can go back to the Lady of the Charred Visage area and go beat our first boss. I say first boss. We've already seen a handful, but you know, the first major boss. Oh gosh. Jump, baby, jump. Okay. That was scary. Very good. Use that wind boost. Perfect. Now we need to flow to the left. A nice westerly wind. We'll use a bile flask just to be safe. So glad we have an extra one now. Oh, I thought I dodged that. Thought I was out of range. Seems I was mistaken. The wind was blowing against us. I tried to beat it, but that's okay. Can't be greedy here. We'll use the wind gust to push us to this platform over here. And we should be good to go. Gonna make it back to the Lady of the Charred Visage area. Which I'm assuming that's what she looked like in the back. But she is completely burnt. Something bad happened. We'll go ahead and heal, but what we're going to do is we're going to go down first. When it comes to our inventory, we can actually, I believe, if I recall correctly, we can even equip a Mea Culpa heart here. Yeah. So now at least we have that. And let's see what other rosaries, let's change them out because I really don't like the ones I have. Magical nature, recovery time. It's fine. We'll keep the ones we have. Whatever. No illusory wall for us, huh? We do have some passageways to pick from, left or right. I always go left. There's a dead body that we could communicate with once we get a special relic. This is a poison-filled room that we can't go to just yet. So what I'm going to do is mark it on the map with something. A relic. There you go. The question mark means we need a relic. So we'll go to the right and see if it's a similar story. So these guys breathe fire. Alright, I don't like you. You just don't want to die. Graveyard of the Peaks. Of course, if you're in an elevator, you can safely descend. The Graveyard of the Peaks is actually going to take us down to a very special area. It's going to take us it should take us straight to Albero, but what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a secret here. If we hold A, we actually sacrifice a little bit of blood, which you can see here, that was already there prior to our appearance. And if you look at the cell that we're in right now in the Graveyard of the Peaks in the enclosed convent, you can obtain the Heart of the Unnamed Minstrel. And this is another heart of Mea Culpa. So pretty cool there. I really like that one. That was really difficult for me to find out or figure out in my casual playthrough. I was pissed. I couldn't figure it out. But anyways, let's go down, just so we can start closing off the map a little bit. So this is where we're going to go all the way down. You see items and all that there, which is just great. To the right would have been our merchant, and then down below, of course, we have some more stuff we can search for. But if we take this one down, this should take us all the way to Albero, if I'm not mistaken. So now we have something of a loop that we've completed here, which is great. So now we're going to go back to Albero, and we're going to go ahead and talk to our boy Tirso. And now we can actually obtain that little, we can break that little item there. I don't believe there's an illusory wall here, but yeah, let's just check. Tirso! We're going to give him the incense garlic, which was a quest item.
Merciful be, penitent one. With your contribution, the work of this brotherhood carries on.
So we got the linen cloth. The linen cloth is incredibly important. This is going to be an item that we can eventually upgrade.
These walls, but if your penance happens to carry you under said skies, be so kind as to bring us some ingredients for our ointments. Sorrowful be the heart, penitent one full of clemency.
So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually going to move to this side, and I'm going to go back to that fountain and see if we can interact with it just yet. We can. So since we have the linen cloth, it looks like a useless rag, right, is what it's saying. But this is actually something that's very important. And if we go here, we can now teleport to this special world or dreamscape kind of world where this guy was punished and turned into salt. And if you turn here to the right, you can interact with him.
This place is another dream, penitent one.
They believe me a saint worthy of devotions, and the only thing I granted to their prayers was the saltpeter that runs through the stark land and rises through our bodies. The punishment of the miracle for the false idol is to grant them false holiness. Do not try to obtain my name, for it is also covered in salt. Bring me anything that can be blessed, so you might crush this fate of mine and let me cross to the other side of this false dream.
So we're going to give him the cloth. Do you want to give linen cloth? And you say give.
Behold the linen cloth that soaks the sweat of fevers, of thoughts, of dreamt sins. A tool that obtains secret and forbidden confessions, even from those who already departed to the other side of the dream. In the name of the High Wills, I bless this relic. Watch over it, for it is now pure and sacred.
So now we have the Shroud of Dreamt Sins. This is our first relic. This relic is going to allow us to actually commune with the dead so we can learn more in terms of like secrets and things nearby. It is something you can, if you talk to every single dead person, you can get an achievement, but it is not part of the 100% completion. So it's just fun to equip. It was incredibly helpful for me figuring out some of the other puzzles, of course. Oh, I don't think I have anything else quest item wise. No. Centuria's hair, we're going to keep it until we get the rest of Centuria's remains. And then let's see if we can carefully knock this out here. Come on closer, baby boy. Got it. Okay, so now we have the third child of Moonlight out of 38. I guess I didn't mark that one, huh? I must not have marked it on the map, which that's fine. We'll take our ride back up. And now we can go ahead and finish searching the rest of the Lady of the Charred Visage's palace, or whatever it's called. This is great. Great, great, great. Let's take this up a level. There are some items in this elevator shaft. There's always a handful, and it got really tricky trying to navigate them. But once we get that thread of the golden cloth, I believe is what it is, it allows us to go down the abysses, so we should be fine. All the enemies that we defeated are still dead because we never... here's a good example. Let's go ahead and check out our relic. But they're dead because we didn't tag another altar or pure deer. The sisters humble themselves before two holy figures in their crypts. What secrets might they be keeping? The sisters humble themselves before two holy figures in their crypts. Their eyes anticipate sacrifices, anticipate pain, anticipate blood. Okay. I believe in one of these areas there's a room where you have to obtain the blood of several different enemies, which is really confusing and annoying actually, but we should be fine. We'll do that pretty much last, because it's just one of those annoying side quests you have to do, and you can't teleport and things like that, so we'll do it last, and I'll show you a very easy way to do it as well. Alright, so let's make our way up this tower. Okay, I was gonna say any second now. Oh gosh, I died. It hit me twice. That is no good. Okay, so instead we're gonna be a little more cautious around those ones. We're gonna actually slide behind them. That way we can avoid their their fire. I'm used to killing them in 2 hits, so my bad. It's actually probably gonna take anywhere from 4 to 5 hits, I can imagine. I see you, pretty girl. So it takes 5 hits. Ouch. Alright, that one was a pest. I thought that was a ledge, but I was mistaken. Let's be careful here to avoid the the boiling hot oils. Easy does it. You just keep holding on to that chain, sister. Just hold on. Okay, so perfect. So now we're going to go up and around, and then we're going to eventually be able to drop down that ladder, so we should be good. Need to bait this guy over here. Thank you, thank you. Of course, he's immune to the oil. I don't believe that's an illusory wall, but I would like to check it out. I really need to get essentially located here. Yep, I knew that was going to cost me. The knockback damage right into the burning oils. That's okay. Fortunately, we're just a few steps away. So let's go back in here. We'll head up the ladder. And then we have to go all the way back to the left. Okay, perfect. We had some immunity there. Fortunately. We're going to have to bait these silly creatures again. Alright, we got our guilt fragment back, which is great. But I need to get past this lady here. She's not playing ball. It's so funny how easy they are later in the game, but she is quite a pain right now at this level. With my limited defenses, my small health bar, and not a ton of damage output, she's a real force to be reckoned with. But fortunately, we gouged out her eyes, so we're good to go. Playing it safe. No need to rush through. We don't have any bile flasks anyway, so we don't want to take any unnecessary damage. Alright. Perfect, okay. We gotta be careful here. There you go. That was super close. Let's go back to the right so that we can hopefully obtain that item that was in this room here. So in the Convent of Our Lady of the Charred Visage, in this cell here, you can obtain this item on the ledge. It's the Sternum of Vites, the Performer. This is a collectible. Oh my gosh, I almost jumped right into the lava. That wouldn't have been good. Not for anybody. I call it lava because it looks like lava, but it's definitely not lava. I forgot that hurt me. I can't believe it. Man, that's a hell of a knife. If you think about this, she's got like arms in there, or like bodies in there. So that thing is heavy. Let's head back. Right. We're gonna climb up. We're gonna have to make it past that nun again, unfortunately. I love the True Apostasy skin. It's great. It's the black armor with the red sword. Looks so good. Let's head back through and hopefully we'll be we won't repeat our past mistakes here. I won't be able to make it across. It's too much of a jump. Not good, not good. Yikes. That was scary. So I have to time my slide way better. Oh gosh, I'm dead. What a disaster. Oh, I didn't get my fragment back, right, because I died there. That's right. I definitely need to focus on obtaining that fragment then, that's for sure. Can't wait to get my next upgrade for the Mea Culpa, because I definitely need the last part of the combo. But I wanted that downward strike so that we could, you know, get certain areas and break through certain illusory floors. It'll be fine. It's worth it. But yeah, I don't like having, you know, I don't like being without a combo. There you go. I'm going to play it safe. As I jump down into a pit of 3 enemies. That's what I was trying to do the first time. We'll bait this enemy over, kill him. Dash. And we're going to jump across and kill this little weird jumping enemy. Use our last bio flask. Oh gosh. Lava. Burning hot magma. Where's my my guilt fragment? I guess it was. I guess that counts as it for whatever reason. This is closed off. Five hits for her, so she's dead. And now we can finally get rid of this nuisance here. This is also a poison room, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark it on the map as such. We're gonna need a relic for that. We'll go down again, and then we'll end up going around, up and around the other way. It's literally just the other side of our save point, but we can drop down. And then we'll go down here. We'll save again and replenish our bio flasks. Come back up and to the left. This is an area that was previously inaccessible, but now that we've pulled the lever, we have the letter drop down for us. These ghosts are a pain. You can only ever hit them once. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 2 hits for these guys. 2 hits. Oh gosh. Please don't do that. How are you hitting me in the head? Because I have a giant cone head? Is that why? We'll get that item here soon. No more ghosts, please. That'd be nice. One more time. Stab her in the eyeballs. Let's just drop down here and see. I thought there was another ghost here, but whatevs. Let's see where. Oh, there's the other ghost. Yeah, we're gonna come back in here instead and search the rest of this area, and we'll get our item. We're gonna play it safe. I don't feel like dying. Two hits for these guys. 1 trillion hits for these. Just 5, I suppose, will do. And then if you look at this glowing cell here on the map, this is where we obtain the Phalanx of Miriam the Counselor. Got a number of areas to go. It's kind of all, at this point, nice and mixed up. Oops. That was not good. That was not good. Yeah, I got surrounded. Oh man, they were double teaming me. That's no fun. Go back up there. We're gonna obtain or re-obtain our guilt fragment. Great. They just keep trying it, don't they? 2 hits for you. Should be 3, 4, and 5. Good gosh. These things are annoying. 2 hits for you. All right. We'll climb up this ladder, regain our fragment of guilt that we've worked so hard for. Oh my gosh. I thought they could shoot through walls. Fortunately, they cannot. Ow. Ah, gosh. No, my brain. Okay, so I think what's happening is I'm thinking that my hitbox is a little bit smaller than it actually is, and that's why I'm being tagged. That's fine, I know how to dodge it now, so let's go get our guilt fragment and kill these ghosts. That way we can make some progress, gain a few more items, and then this will be the end of the first sequence. There you go. Two hits for these guys. Got 2 more hits for the ghost lady and she's gone. Thank you, thank you. We'll bait him over, kill him upon landing. Dodge over. Do as much of a combo as we can here. Kill her. Perfect. Now they're not so much of a threat. We've got a nice little combo down for them. We can dispatch of them relatively easily now. Alright, that was rough. Not nearly as clean as I would have liked, but that's okay. We got our guilt fragments back, which is key. I'm gonna bait this guy, but he's not coming over. That's fine. There you go. But his friend wasn't so smart. We'll come back around this way. Next time I'll jump 2 platforms. And if in this cell here, we're going to get one of the beads of wax. It's going to help increase our life. So in the convent of Our Lady of the Charred Visage, in this glowing cell here. Oh no, do I not know how to blow out the candles just yet? Okay, well we're going to mark that then. It is a treasure. Something we cherish. I don't know how to... That's funny. I forgot how to get that then. Usually just go... We blow it out. And then we get a piece of the wax. You would think that these areas would have illusory walls, but they don't. But I always hit them just to make sure. Oh, I got tagged really bad there. Unnecessarily. to be very patient on this sequence. Fifth hit right there, so she's dead. That one's just yanking on that chain like a mofo, isn't she? Thank you. Now this will be another area we can, I think, actually save in. And this dead body says, I can feel Our Lady between these walls. I can feel her warmth, for her face still burns. A reminder of her sacrifice and ours. The pain, the cold, and the burn are our rules. This is a really cool lady. Her name is, gosh, I don't remember her name. But let's talk to her, and we're going to descent. So if you talk to her, she can actually aid you in 3 separate boss fights. If you actually ascent and accept her assistance, what will happen is, after the 3rd boss fight, she'll actually die. So every time she assists you, she gets a little bit older. And then eventually she gets so old that she just dies. If you do that and exhaust her as a resource, you won't be able to actually 100% the game, and you will not obtain the last prayer. So let's just talk to her, and we're going to dissent. We're not going to accept her help, because all she actually does is no damage. She plays the role of a healer. So she'll provide you some heals whenever you get to, like, I don't know, say 30% health. But it's a very slow heal, and typically you'll die before you even use it, and you can cancel it if you use your own bio flask. So not the most helpful, but kind of a cool addition to the fights.
From a place of blessings have I been entrusted with watching over you, penitent one. Thus it has been arranged. My name is Viridiana. I have been granted a gift with which I can assist you in carrying your burden if required. But only you can make that choice. Penitent one in silence, will you require my assistance with your next task?
We're going to dissent and say no.
Here I shall remain, lest you change your mind.
Viridiana is super cool, because now lore-wise, that's super interesting, because I wonder who sent her. I would love to know. But anyways, let's go kill this boss real quick. Actually, before we do that, let's continue our search. And then once we do that, because all we need to do is go over to the left a little bit and see what's over there. And then we'll come back and kill the Lady of the Charred Visage. And that'll be fantastic. That'll be a great stopping point. But I want to finish as much as we can before we get to an area where we're unable to proceed because, you know, we need certain relics or what have you. Because this room is filled with toxins. Or this entire tower is filled with toxins. So if you go to this area right across from the save point on the map here, you can obtain your very own Cloistered Sapphire. This is a Rosary bead. Oh, that's right. And it creates electricity after you perform an execution. So it's kind of cool. Deals some additional damage. So that's that. So see, aren't you glad we searched for that? The rest is essentially items that we can't obtain. We'll go down here actually real quick and see if there's anything else that is preventing us from obtaining certain items. And we'll be on our merry way. I don't want to tag any heals or anything like that along the way because I want to safely be able to traverse without having to face off with these enemies again. As I get almost killed by a damn ghost. Oh gosh, no. What's wrong with you people? I wonder what it takes to blow out those candles. I can't remember for the life of me, but we'll figure it out. We'll probably get it after we kill the Lady of the Charred Visage, to be honest. Oh my gosh. Of course. those ghosts are... Oh, you know what? I wonder if they deal magical damage. And if so, we can change out our Rosary beads to protect us from that kind of damage. Let's try it out. But yeah, so Viridiana is going to position herself right before boss room, so it's always a really good indication that you're going to be facing off with a boss whenever we see her. Alright, that was terrible. Come over here. 1, 2. Go down this pathway here. And then hopefully we can recover our guilt fragment. You are annoying, little girl. Alright, so we handled that. Grabbed our guilt fragment. Two hits for this guy. And the ghost is dead as well, where we use our last bile fragment just to be on the safe side. The hell? Okay, that was terrible. And what was the purpose of this again? Oh yeah, that's right, we're going this way. So let's jump. Make sure we avoid any more ghost creatures. Wow, we were so close. So close. That's okay though, but there's another candle if you've noticed. And there's a relic right next to it. So we're going to grab that real quick for sure before we face off with this, this lady here. If I recall correctly, this boss fight isn't too difficult anyway, so we should be fine. Stay right here. I like this. We'll drop down, destroy these two ladies. That was a little close for comfort. And 5. You've now been dispatched of. Alright, let's head back this way and not die. So we can get the item. 2 hits for this guy. Gosh, got a little crazy there. Got a little hairy because I aggroed the second witch. And I don't think I have any reduction to the magical damage. I'm still getting my ass destroyed there. So Interesting. That's okay. We're going to keep going back. We're not giving up. Not until we get that. Clear out that room, of course. Nice. Fortunately, they spawn right here, which is great. Something of an exploit, as it feels like anyways. Manipulate them so they can come this way. I like it. We'll come down. Get these nuns out of the way here. Oh gosh. Okay, that was terrible and painful. Four, 5. Okay, gosh. Let us see if we can make it through. 2 hits. Still got me, that's okay. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I've died like 3 times. I'm sure my guilt fragments are spread across the entire, that whole entire seed there. That little cell of the map. Alright. The funny thing is this area is going to be harder than the boss, who we're going to defeat relatively easily. It's just these ghosts. Let's jump across here safely, climb down the ladder. All right. Got her. It's a 3rd time right there. 4 and 5, I believe. Now we'll clear out this area here. 2 hits. Okay. Nope. Just gonna be patient on this one. I could have sworn that was gonna be the 5th round, but maybe not. Got our guilt fragments back, and now in this cell, it's lit up right here in the Convent of Our Lady of the Charred Visage. We've finally obtained the small bead of blue wax. This will increase our fervor. That was rough. But we got it. And it was worth it. So now we can head back up, heal, and defeat the Lady of our Charred Visage, and that'll be one of the first major bosses. And we would have already experienced a handful of areas that we've cleared, so we're doing well, making a lot of progress. I don't think this does anything. Increases my defense. Does it really, though? And then we'll jump across. Nothing happened. Why, though, I wonder? What am I doing wrong? I'm not blowing correctly? Alright, so let's go down. We're going to go back up to our save point. No! And 5 hits for you, my lady. We'll go ahead and save, and then we can destroy the Lady of our Charred Visage. We are not going to employ the help of Viridiana. We got this one, girl. Okay. She will use her second hand here before long. We need to be careful once that one comes out, but we can actually use it against her, like so. Oh my gosh, every single one was hitting me. Jump across, or jump over it. Whew. This one's more of like a war of attrition, just because we're not dealing a ton of damage right now. I can't get the timing right for whatever reason. It got me. No worries. This next time we're gonna be a little bit less aggressive on the those reflecting or deflecting those orbs, and we should be fine. And it's a shame that we don't have a good prayer, because we could use it against. Yeah, it's just not a good one. Ideal for this fight. We could use it against her because she's just right there. Jump over it right there. We should be fine. Slide down below. Heal. And we're going to try and use these again. We'll heal again just to be safe. Slide. And we'll just do our jumping attacks here. That works. I'll take that too. No damage is better. It is not as good as inflicting damage on the boss, but I'll take it. Took a heavy hit there. That's okay. Oh gosh. She's doubling up on us right now. There you go. That's what it takes. Look her in the eye. The one eye. Requiem Aeternum. That was tough. That came down to the wire. Whew. That was unpleasant. Now we will enter this sort of dream state, and we can talk to this head here. It's a really cool looking landscape too.
In the name of the great ordeal and the sons of the miracle, when you humbled yourself before my most holy body, you have been granted the presence of my golden visage, custodian of one of the three sorrows of the soul in penance. Our miracle has chosen me amongst all the peers, just as it chose you, to walk on the sacred sea.
Awesome.
May the gold in my visage melt and erase the compunction of your soul. Heart of guilt, return now from the dream.
So now we have the Holy Wound of Compunction, one of 3 very important quest-related items to allow us to progress through the game. Awesome. So now we can go ahead and fill the thimble with burning oil. So now we have this filled up. And we'll be able to go back to the withered tree area. So let's talk to this fool real quick.
You have carried out the first humiliation of penance. You have been allowed to behold the visage of compunction. You have yet to prostrate before 2 last holy visages.
And what is this? What does this button do? So it takes us all the way over there. So instead of, I'd hate to ruin this. So what I want to do is go save. And that way we can just go all the way straight to the right and go back to Gemino at some point. Give him his burning olive oil and free him. But this is an excellent stopping point. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of the 100% Blasphemous stream. Be sure to stay tuned because for the rest of the week I will be playing this game until I complete it 100%. We are 20% in the game right now. with 3 of 38 of the Children of the Moon saved. There are still plenty more secrets to unfold and uncover and find and show you guys exactly how to locate them all. So be sure to stay tuned, and thank you all for supporting this channel and subscribing and watching. Your viewership's always appreciated. Let's go ahead and do the quick outro, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's see. I need to know the item that I got. Okay, today I obtained the Holy Wound of Compunction. Today I destroyed the Golden Visions. And today I streamed Blasphemous for your viewing pleasure. Now what the fuck have you done lately? It's the Inhuman One signing out. I'll catch you guys next time.